Okay, what I'm going to do is we have around 15 odd minutes. I know a lot of you are looking forward to ask this panel. I see some mics there actually, so those who are bubbling with questions, I'll just tell you because it's very time bound. We will try and cover say 3-4 questions in next 10-15 minutes, but you'll have the opportunity to network with all these people during lunchtime and short break actually. So those who have questions, and if you are ready, I'm assuming those mics are there for you to go ahead and ask the question. I've just took the assumption. If not, if there is a mic runner here, and if you can raise your hand, we'll be happy to field questions with our esteemed guest here. Yeah, okay. Can you do me a favor, actually? There is a, yeah. If you come to that side, please announce who you are and what your question and whom it is directed, actually. That way it'll be easier then.
Good morning all. This is Thiru of ourbusinessladder.com and from Hallmark chapter of BNI. My question is to Dr. Velumani, because you have crossed a long journey of entrepreneurship. So mentorship in any business play a key role, right? How did you choose your mentors, and what is your suggestion for the future entrepreneur in choosing a right mentor?
Don't get shocked with my answer. I never had a mentor. I think, unfortunately, don't get me wrong, all youngsters, in those days, there was no supporting what you call as a Konar Tamilurai. Every subject was taught directly from the subject, and we were only taught by the teachers. We never followed teachers. We learned it and we passed. Mentor is a supporter. Unfortunately, no mentor knows you exactly, correctly, all in you, except in cases where the mentor is always with you. If there is a one-to-one mentoring, there is a risk that the mentoring is going to get into stress. If someone asks me, Dr. Velumani, I want to have an one-to-one mentorship, I tell them, please don't put such a responsibility on me, because when you fail, it is going to be my failure. Having said that, please have a mentor. Weekends, please go to a mentor, not one or two. Group mentoring makes sense, not one-to-one mentoring. No one has time to make you successful, and if he does it half-heartedly, you are at a higher risk. So mentoring is something to be taken as pickle, not a core meal.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Okay.
I think when you have mentors, it's very sensitive that you don't get influenced by the mentors. You just have to use them. I'm using the word use them when you need and at what stage of business that you need. Okay? In my case, I was extremely lucky because these mentors shaped up my thoughts. And you can't go for all petty issues to your mentors. You should go for real quality strategy issues where they'll be able to significantly influence your mind, but they don't want to make the decision for you. You have to make the decision. So what Dr. Velumani said is perfect, because if you have a group of mentors, sometimes it's very good to bounce off. But there is very thin line, because sometimes when you're in the business, you get confused, So you have to be very careful in terms of able to choose the right mentor, leverage the mentor at whatever stage of business that you are.
Very true. And I just want to add my thought, actually. A lot of time it is said is that the quality of answer depends on the quality of questions you've asked, actually. So how you ask, what question you ask, probably going to define what answer you get. The other thing specifically because we play quite a lot in this field at a global level, actually, and we've been fortunate enough, personally me, some of the co-founders, we have coached some of the Fortune 500 board members, CXOs. Please understand there is one thing, and I'll facilitate with an example, actually, is that whether it's Sachin Tendulkar, Roger Federer, they all need somebody, actually, and those are called coaches. Okay? The biggest difference between mentor and coaches, because it's a very abused word globally, is that what mentor does is he or she is going to share their experience, what they have learned over a period of time. Maybe relevant for them, maybe some of the insight you can use it, actually. The difference between mentor and a coach is that coach is going to understand what your weak points are, what your strength points are, and how to play to that strength, actually. If you look at, Roger Federer, at the age of 34, if he changes his coach because he wants to become better, he wants to become better and he needs somebody from a third party perspective, looking at it, how he's functioning actually. So I absolutely agree actually, pick up whom you want actually, okay. Second is that don't put the responsibility of your success and failure on them actually. Also look at diverse perspective actually, okay, and ensure that the question you ask is so relevant that the answer you get from them is absolutely relevant so that you can utilize that.
Don't expect the mentor to know all your problems and give all solutions. Have 20 people, call somebody successful, spend 2 hours, ask enough questions, you get some knowledge. Next fortnight, another man. Next fortnight, another man. You will never make mistakes. But if you follow a single man, that too an old man like me, when I started business, when computers were not there, when you are having today, every other day, every other Android solutions are there, I may fail you. Please keep that in your mind. Not my intention, but it is a risk.
That's a great man saying that, don't come to me. But people are going to come to you. You can't help it, actually, for mentoring. Okay, next question.
Good morning. This is Sharavanan from Accurate Electronics. We are the manufacturers of weighing scale. Whether the franchisee model or dealership model will give the, which one give the more brand value?
The question is directed
to
towards
Dr. Velumani.
Okay.
Franchisee model is largely meant for services. Distributor model is largely meant for products. So both have similarities. And let me tell you, if your product is good, it is the product which generates the brand, not the distributor, not you. So have a good product. The product, my franchisees cannot have any other option, just they can't do anything else because the product is ultimate, the brand is ultimate. Please keep in your mind, even the promoter is not entitled to do his mischief in the brand. So no franchisee, no employee can do any damage to your brand. Brand will be generated by everyone who uses it, touches it, sees it. So in my opinion, distributors will certainly have an enhanced outcome for a brand. I don't think they can damage a brand. It is you who damage a brand. It is the promoter's philosophy which damages the brand. I wanted to add what the banker said. They give funds only for people whom they trust. The word trust is the most powerful word. The brand is nothing but the trust which you are generating in the market for your product or for your services. Never cheat an end user. No way else brand can be spoiled.
Very good. Profound. Sorry? Okay. So should we take one question or just? Okay, one last question. Anybody? Yeah, go on.
Good morning, all. My name is Kamala Kannan, a co-founder of Calicito, an office services firm here in Coimbatore. I written down two, but I will stick to one. It's to the panel. How do you
state whom you want to address?
It's to the panel. Anyone? I'm fine. How do you instill or cultivate an organizational culture and value of life, maybe right morals, in today's so-called Gen Y we recruit, so especially freshers who come into knowledge-based industries? That's my question. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'll just add one point and then I'll pass the mic. Our average mean size is about 26 in our factory. Like Dr. Velumani, I also look for fresh engineers with a lot of chamak to be able to contribute. One of the things that we tell them during the interviews is that at any point of time is integrity, honesty, and values are compromised, they will be fired the same day. No compromise, even if they are going to be a critical team member, first. Second, in our factory, we take pledge every morning. We take Dr. Abdul Kalam's pledge at 8:55. And I think this is a very constant, good reinforcement that they will not only take care of themselves, they'll take care of the company, the society, the values, they will go conserve nature, etc. Number two. And number three is that one of the key things to motivate and retain people, talent, is that you need to communicate. And I think that we all become too quickly we want to assume the role of a manager, thinking that, oh, it's all, a lot of, this paperwork and all that, We think that manager means we don't have to communicate. But the communication at all levels is going to be very, very important. In our factory, even a person at all levels is recruited by me. Even if there's a person who's actually coming as a factory worker, I look at them, I talk to them, and then only we hire. So everyone, if they are every person is known to me, and thereby the connect is there with the people, and that helps in better attrition.
Good. You hired a lot of freshers. Devika, I'll come to you also, especially because
Yeah.
you inherited a lot of people left. Actually.
Unfortunately, until I was an employee, there was an employee insecurity. Today, an employer, there is an employer insecurity. Today, those days, employees had no much options. Today, he has a smartphone in which all job portals are having a app. And while he is talking, you think he is talking to the customer, but he is actually giving interview with the competitor. So I don't have one way of stopping it or one methodology of working on it. It's a complex phenomena. You need to give him a feeling that with you he sees a better future than with anyone else. Then he remains. Otherwise, he changes, he keeps changing. This is a challenge. Please keep in your mind. He has N options. We don't have much options, except keeping redundancy. Be prepared that man might tomorrow submit a resignation. That means you need to have some more people having redundancy supporting you. You can't collapse by depending on one man. He will be always yours, because life is uncertain even in this space.
Devika, you went through attrition, and when you took over, question very directed. How do you retain and do that?
As Hema pointed out, communication gap is the biggest gap in an organization. Department to department, they don't communicate. Blame game is the game they play, to just put the blame on someone and just walk away. And actually, when I took up resignations and dropping outs were the highest level and highest challenge I could face. So I had to identify people who could grow with me in this business. And as we scale up also, we start distancing ourselves from certain areas. Like our focus is not on certain areas. So I started gripping back on areas where it needed focus on top priority. For that, I should thank, I'm a 20-month-old BNI member here. The trainings of BNI has given me lots of takeaways, and I've implemented in my organization. It is really good to be, and my fellow members like Venkatramanan sir and Martin sir have really handheld me through all my journey now, and made me identify and given me the confidence to look into what areas I have to look into.
Come on, round of applause for BNI. Okay. I do want to thank each one of you. Let me just wrap it up for everyone's benefit. Sure. Yeah.
Gen Y or Gen X want only two things. One is dinner and a dance. And I have all 700 employees. Every year I take at least once dinner with them. And at least one evening, I dance with each and every employee. Please, as a CEO, that is the best way to connect. And they feel that you are with them. And however big an organization becomes, this challenge has to be addressed too. So learn to dine and dance, not outside with employees.
Okay, so BNI will have to add one more training of dancing. Okay, so let me just summarize actually what we have learned. This is what I learned, and I'll share it with you, which you can take it home. Actually, the first thing I learned from each of the people here is that mission in your business is far more important actually. If you are a mission-driven business, if you care for your customer, if you care for the problem you're solving, I think success is going to come your way. The second thing I think I learned here is that don't try to copy what others are doing. Look for opportunities what others are not able to see. That's the characteristic of a entrepreneur. That's the characteristic of somebody who can sight opportunity here. I think the other thing I learned was when you have found out what is the mission, what is that opportunity lies, be restless. Restless in such a way that you should wait for every morning that I'm going to go and solve that problem, change the world. And finally, and I'm very happy to announce that, is I'm beginning to learn there is a no glass ceiling for women. So all the women who are attending here, look up to the two ladies sitting here actually, and take a leaf out of that and just go out and fulfill your dream, because we need in India every woman to realize their dream, irrespective to where they are actually. It can positively influence our country, our economy, and our GDP. Before I wind up, I have an ask from you actually. In your goodie bag, there is a small paper which has a survey actually. There is a reason why we have done the survey actually. This forum is all about sharing with you how to grow your company actually. In that survey, it'll take you 2.5 minutes. It's a multiple question paper. Just fill it up, some of the challenges that you are facing. We're going to keep everything anonymous, and we're going to come out with a report actually. And we're going to share a copy of that report if you leave your email ID there so that we can mail it back to you actually. We're going to come back to this group and share with them whatever you have shared as your common challenge actually. First, you will get to know whether other people are also facing the same challenge actually. Second is that hopefully next year something like that get organized, or BNI comes back and share with you how to mitigate those challenges. Third is that we are working closely with government, and we want to ensure that government should listen to you. So it's a great power of 400 plus people sitting here, all entrepreneurs, telling government that these are our challenges. And if the challenges relate to a bit of infrastructure what government can solve, or access to capital, something government can intervene, we would like to tell them that these are the 400 people are telling us actually. If you can take the time to fill it up, and if you want to give back the survey report, put your email ID actually, and leave it on the table. We'll come back to you actually. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. A round of applause for the team here.